Oh, I've been manifesting a sneeze. It never came.
Trying to have an achievement.
It would be the gesundheit. I was trying to say the height of my career.
The gesundheit
of my career. Yeah, as a sneezer, professional. Professional chewer.
But unfortunately, you couldn't do it the sneezy way.
Let's begin, shall we?
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Who is My Doctor?
Who is my doctor?
Who is indeed. I'm your host, Zach, and I know a lot about Doctor Who.
And I'm also your host, Cassie. And I gave you my heart, and the very next day, you gave it away. Ooh.
Yes, Cassie. Ho, ho, ho! Marchy Christmas! Today we are watching the 2014 Christmas special, Last Christmas.
Gave you my heart.
Featuring additional companion, as you saw at the beginning of, at the end of last episode, rather, Santa Claus. Nick Frost as Santa Claus is our companion alongside Clara Oswald and the Doctor.
They must have felt so cheeky. They went, who can we cast as the old Saint Nick?
Who could be Jack Frost? And then someone just like erases the J-A and they went, wait a second.
Nick.
Saint Nick.
Nick Frost. Saint Nick Frost.
Yes, indeed, they cast one Nick Frost as Santa Claus. As I mentioned last episode, they basically wrote Clara out of the show 3 times. The third one was where it stuck. This episode was sort of the second time they gave her a chance to leave if she had wanted to. We'll get to that more in the post conceptions part of the episode here. What do you expect from an adventure with the Doctor and Santa Claus? Sinterklaas. Saint Nick. Popo Gijo.
You got one more on you?
I'm trying to remember all the things Tim Allen called himself in that movie. Kris Kringle.
Do you know how angry I was when I realized that the SC also stood for Scott Calvin?
They say it in the movie.
Zach, I wasn't paying attention to the movie a whole lot as a kid. I was just excited to have Christmas time movies playing. And it wasn't until I was in college that I actually sat down and watched the movie and went, hang on. It's like he was supposed to be Santa Claus all along.
Like they set him up. Those tricky elves set him up.
Yeah, those kids, those ancient kids. So piggybacking.
Bernard.
Don't you talk bad about my boy like that, okay? Extra hot, shaken, not stirred. Sorry. I'm just thinking about...
Stimming out over about a Christmas movie in the middle of March.
Yeah.
Spring break, Christmas break, same thing.
No. It's really not. But if I had to guess what a Doctor Who episode was Santa Claus and is also called Last Christmas, I feel like it's a cheap shot to say people simply don't believe in Santa. If we're going to go Buddy the Elf on this, where you need to sing on...
The Doctor just goes door to door and be like, hi, this is Santa.
Yeah, where the only way to get the entirety of New York to believe in Santa again is to have Zooey Deschanel stand up on top of a fountain and sing Santa Claus is coming to town. So that's one. That is one. It could also be elves are not wanting to do their job. Elves are unionizing. That's a bad thing for Santa.
Everyone knows how pro-capitalism the Doctor is.
Yeah.
Anti-union, anti-labor.
I also have to remind myself, I don't know. See, so like I'm I'm so used to how America views Santa. I don't know how the UK views Santa.
Well, you'll see a little bit of that in this episode for sure. Because I do know that a lot of like, especially American perception of it is very capitalism, and I think that's heavily inspired by Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Well, because I had this conversation one day because I went to Catholic school. We during Christmas time had Saint Nick's Day, which is different from Santa's Day. From Santa Day, you know. December 25th, because that's also a big deal.
Santa Day is his birthday.
December 25th, a big deal in the Catholic calendar, it turns out.
Can't imagine why.
But St. Nick's Day specifically is, traditionally speaking, it is when you would leave shoes out on your hearth. And that's when St. Nicholas would come and fill up your shoes with treats and trinkets. And every year I wanted my Saint Nick, not my mom, to leave a kitten in my shoe, and she went, "No, that is never going to happen." I was like, "What if I wake up and my cat Stuffy's named Morgana?" And I was like, "What if I woke up and Morgana was real?" My mom went, "That is never going to happen." Cut to like 4 years later, my dad brings home a kitten for Christmas, so you know, it did happen. It just took a little bit. So I'd imagine though that the UK might also practice more of the traditional Saint Nick's.
I know they have different traditions. One of which
poppers.
Poppers obviously, but there's also one in particular that gets brought up a lot at the beginning of the episode, so we'll get to that. You did touch on one thing that
shoes.
You did touch on one thing that sort of leads me into the Cassiperfassi a little bit here.
Kitten and shoes.
I will just get right to that then. The first part of the Cassiperfassi today is: do you think Clara still believes in Santa?
It's a complicated question,
especially for someone who's been traveling with the doctor,
especially somebody who's also a educator.
Mm-hmm.
Does she still believe in Santa? I feel like she would say yes, even if that yes is a no.
I'm going to need you to elaborate a little bit on that.
So what I mean by that is like how when I am at work, especially when I am around all of the children that I sometimes work with, I commit to bits, not 100%. I commit to them 5,000% because I think that is way more fun than when adults are engaged in the same degree of play as kids are.
Okay.
So, for example, there was one kid, he was throwing a little bit of a tantrum, sprawled out on the floor, and I went, "Guys, I'm so sorry to report, he's dead." This kid, dead as a stone.
Boing.
Yeah. Then he started laughing and having a good time with the bit, and we're like, "Look, he's twitching his legs." And I went, "See, but that's what happens when you die. Your muscles spasm."
That's a rigor mortis.
And then one of the kids came up and was like, "We need to take him to the hospital," and was just like shaking my shoulders. And one of the other adults was like, "Hey, don't you do that." And I was like, No, we're playing. We're fine. This is a bit where it's okay.
Playing in the space.
I was like, "We're playing in space. Like it's okay." Because also I am 10 years older than you. I would not let a kid talk to me like this if I was not okay with it. You can back the flip off.
You're arguing with like slightly older children about the goings on of the younger children.
Yeah, and so in that degree, I think that Clara would say yes. Yes, Santa's real. Santa's absolutely real. Why would you say anything against that? Like, you know, I've seen many impossible things. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't Santa be real? Even if she's like, there's.
Well, let me just, if it alters your opinion, this is not a performative thing. This is genuinely what she feels in this moment. This is really.
Well, like I said, she has seen so many impossible things. There isn't a reason for her to not believe Santa is real.
Okay, so you think it's...
So I think if you're trying to take the wind out of my sails and make me commit to a solid yes and or no, I would say yes.
She still believes in Santa.
I would say Clara is the type to go, yeah, why not?
All right. Okay.
Even if it's a half-baked, like it's probably not real, but...
All right, fair enough. All right. So we will find out together if Clara still believes in Santa. Let's also find out what new monster Stephen Moffat has crafted for this Christmas special.
Uh-oh. 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 You know how notoriously good I am at guessing Moffat's holidays, spooky time monsters.
Well, he's come up with many classics that I think sit pretty strong in a lot of minds. Weeping Angels are probably his biggest one, but also The Silence and all kinds of other creatures. He's really good at coming up with monsters. This is an alien species known as the Cantrafari. However, they are more easily known by a simpler name. Is it A, mirage birds, B, shock snakes, or C, dream crabs? I enjoy seeing your reaction to the ones I've made up as much as I enjoy seeing your reaction to the real one.
It's dream crabs. I think you spilled the beans on yourself a little bit the other day. I'm like 99% sure it's dream crabs.
Oh, really? What did I spill the beans?
When we were talking about crab experiments.
I don't remember saying anything. I guess I'll take your word for it. We'll see if it's dream crabs.
Am I right? Will you tell me right now?
How would I tell you right now when we're going to watch the episode together?
Crab experiment. See, that's a nice little callback for anybody that...
Dream crab experiments.
For anybody who also listens to Escape from Walt Disney and has seen that particular episode that has then been quoted every single episode since because it's absolutely insane.
Because we
whoever,
all the people who pay attention to the extended Wimdyverse.
The extended Wimdyverse. Yeah,
the Wimdy podcast universe.
Yeah. Not the Windy universe, although I understand.
The Windy universe is just called Oklahoma.
Or California during October.
Well, we will find out together if Clara still believes in Santa and if the Cantrafari are better known as dream crabs as we watch
Cream Drabs.
God damn it. We will find out if the Cantrafari are cream drabs as we watch the 2014 Christmas special, Last Christmas.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Ides of March. I think. I'm not good at keeping a calendar this time of year. My name is Christopher Kringle, but you probably know me better as Santa Claus. People ask me all the time what I'm doing the other 364 days a year while the elves are hard at work. Well, while the sleigh is in the stable, I make my way down south to run the finest exotic pet store you've ever seen. Welcome to Santa Claus's Sandy Claus Emporium, your stop for tropical fish, colorful birds, and of course, crabs. I've handpicked the finest bottom feeders and surface skimmers this side of the Arctic Circle, scooped them up in my magic bag, and dropped them off here at the finest brick-and-mortar establishment that has to share space with a Quiznos. Look, I'll be honest with you. A 40,000 square foot factory in the middle of the fucking Arctic has a mortgage that would make you shit coal. So I need this. If I don't sell each one of these 300 blue-ringed octopi, we will have an army of unemployed elves. So each one of you that doesn't get down here to buy something is going on the naughty list next year. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go feed the boys. Line up, boys. It's chow time. Here Splasher, here Clamper, here Clonser and Sheldon. Now Hermit and Guppy. Come, Bronner and Pinchin. Holy shit, it's humid in here.
And we are back from Last Christmas. So what'd you think, Cassie?
It's okay.
Shall we spin a top and make sure we're actually awake?
Yeah, and then the top is just going to wiggle in frame, and then the movie's going to end.
What I've done. Sorry.
That is exactly how that movie ends, isn't it? I fucking forgot it ended with the... Anyways.
I mean, that's not the actual music it ends with, but it does have that vibe.
It absolutely does.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that is a pretty good Christmas special. Granted, I think most Doctor Who Christmas specials are pretty good.
I have to float on the side of I agree that this one is a very good special, if only because they hit me with my own logic. And it's not me. It's not something that I came up with. It's not anything that is like unique. But years ago, story time. Years ago, my grandfather was in the hospital with pneumonia for the second time. And so every single holiday after that, because we all thought it was one of those things where it was like, I don't remember. I think it was a little bit after the pandemic.
It was definitely around then because you were
2021, I think.
Because I remember you being scared of COVID at the time.
Well, specifically, he was in intensive care, and they didn't let any of us go back there. It was the nurses, so my mom and my aunt could go because they worked at the hospital where he was. So they were like, any immediate children, like especially they can go back there. Wife can go, but everybody else, like, we're so sorry you cannot go back and see him. So it was really scary. And from that point forward, every single holiday was one more. We already had the last Father's Day, so this one is just one more. Oh, it's just one more Christmas, one more Easter. And having that mindset, especially when it comes to things where it's like, it is such a bummer to be so sad about the last one. And having that going through your life, it does make you feel a little delulu at times, but it's also incredibly helpful. So that way
it's a coping mechanism.
Yeah, well, just so that way you're not a fucking bummer. Going about things knowing that, oh, we already did the last one. That was the time before that. This is one more. So we're going to like really live it up and have a good time. So because they hit me with that logic, I have to say that I didn't hate this episode.
Yeah.
I don't like the dreamy weemy logic of it, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, I really like, I think on the whole, their Christmas specials have the highest batting average.
I think it's because they know people will tune in for them.
Yeah, like I think...
Like if you're a casual Doctor Who fan, but oh, it's Christmas time, I'll tune in for the special. Why not?
I also think that because they're separated from the rest of the show, they get more time to like really work on those and make that one feel special. Which I think was evident with the way they kept really beautifully lighting Mr. Peter Capaldi.
Oh my God. Because it happened once at the very beginning. And I was like, I'm not going to like bring it up during the pod. Like it's funny to like, yeah, wow, they really lit him up and did a beautiful job with the lighting. But that's not something that we have to talk about. But they did it 3 more times. And I went, God damn. Somebody's just really invested in lighting this old man in the most beautifully Baroque ways I've ever seen. No one else, just Capaldi.
Lots of orange and teals hitting him at all the right angles.
Yes. Like the first time it's just this like beautiful highlight that's just like around his like the profile of his face, but then you also get some of that light bouncing off of, I think it's like Clara's very light, like it's the snow. So you get this like very nice bright highlight, but then you also get his face lit in nice ways, and it's just
he's got a very structured face too. Like he's got very prominent cheekbones and very sunken cheeks.
Yeah. So
I think that helps the lighting hit him because there's natural contrast in his face.
He has Halloween mask qualities in the very best way possible. He has,
someone calls him in this episode a skeleton man.
Yeah, he has skeleton man makeup all the time, and it's just his face.
Old Jack Skellington.
So you had breezed over earlier some of the Christmas traditions that they have in the UK that we don't have here. I beg to fucking differ.
Yeah, to me, tangerines were not a thing we did in America.
No, that was one of the... So growing up, we had, in my house, ugly oranges. They are exactly what you think they are. They might be Satsuma oranges, but they're just... My mom would get them for me, and she knew which ones I was talking about because I would ask for the ugly oranges. Granted, I love a good citrus fruit, so I will eat any any tangerine you roll in my direction or leave on my windowsill, I will eat it.
I just picture you running downstairs. Well, not downstairs. Your house didn't have stairs, but I picture you running into the living room on Easter to get a basket full of chocolate. And you're like, oh.
There was one year my mom filled my stocking with ugly oranges. I was in heaven. I was so happy because I think that was one of the years that like there wasn't anything big that I was asking for Christmas. It was just like, oh, I want DS games, or like there wasn't anything that was like, oh, here's the showstopper. So my mom went, we'll just get her a bunch of oranges.
Give her a sock full of oranges.
Let's give her a sock full of oranges and call it a day. I'm sure that there was like a high privileged child coming through. I'm sure that there was jewelry or something that I didn't pay any ounce of attention to because my sock was full of oranges.
Yeah, I guess I was wrong. I didn't realize how important citrus fruit was to some people's Christmases.
To me.
Just specifically the person I share this podcast with.
To me and the rest of the UK. Why do you think I go crazy over sumo citrus season, which lasts so fucking long? Thanks, global warming.
You heard it here first. Cassie approves of global warming.
Uh-huh. Those polar bears are fine. They don't need...
Santa's there. He'll help.
Yeah. Only if the bears are dreaming, though.
Yeah. Oh, God. A polar bear with a dream crab on its face? Ugh.
I mean, it was going to die of starvation anyway, so might as well make it go out easy. What do you think polar bears dream of? It's probably seals. It's probably seals
Polar
and
sheep.
a seal. It's the musician seal riding on the back of the seal.
Coca-Cola.
An orca that just gives up.
Snow honey. Just a little smackerel of snow honey.
Okay, that's...
Stuck at the goddamn glacier again.
That would be funny if
there were ice bees.
Yeah, if polar bears weren't actually emaciated because of how little food they can get now because of global warming.
No,
this is actually a thing I really care about.
You heard it here first. Cassie disapproves of global warming.
And also, bears eat anything. Honey is something that they really like, but that's like a very special treat. They can't just eat honey.
There's a very different kind of Christmas feel that this one has compared to previous ones.
Yes. If for no other reason than this one does drag you along with the like, okay, bear with us. We're in a dream, but we're in a dream within a dream. And guess what? Shut up. Also, love how Clara tells people to shut up.
Well, what I meant more was like,
but it's something where this one feels the most Doctor Who-y in the we're having to subscribe to a lot of like silly willy bullshit.
Yeah, we're like I think the favorite is still A Christmas Carol.
Yeah,
but even then, like the most fantastical element of that is sort of the flying fish. There is a sciencey wyancy element to a lot of that stuff, especially with like obviously the time travel and the frozen person and all that stuff.
Oh my God, Last Christmas is for that one too.
Last Christmas is for that one too.
Well, because like she only has a certain number of Christmases before it's her last one.
Yep, she got a bunch of Christmases before her last one. But this one, and you know, the Christmas Carol was ultimately about bringing Michael Gambon and that woman together, and then the Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe was about bringing his family together. The Time of the Doctor was just more or less about Matt Smith as a celebration of Matt Smith's portrayal of the Doctor. But this is the first one where the togetherness is the Doctor and his companion. It's about bringing them back together. Yeah. And so I think this is one of the first times where that togetherness feels more internalized even than the family stuff does, because it's our main characters. Yeah. It's them coming back. And so there's a more, I guess, intimate feeling to it when you know these two so well, especially the way they play those last moments where the Doctor's like, hey, my box is outside. Please come with me. Don't argue with me. Please come. There's something about the look in Capaldi's eyes that... Well, it's because it's a moment that starts... Spoilers, jumping all the way to the end of the episode. It's the moment that starts when he wakes up old lady Clara and goes, I don't see you as any other
age, or like,
You always look the same to me.
you always look the same to me, because we've learned in this episode the Doctor does have face blindness. Short-term memory loss when it comes to faces.
I do like that when he says that she is out of the old age makeup. It is.
Well, yes, but it's when he's talking to her and saying like, oh, no, nobody else could hold the candle up to Danny. And she's like, well, there was one, but
He was impossible.
it wouldn't have worked out. Oh, why? He was impossible.
Like the Impossible Girl. Sorry.
Meaning that he was made out of plant-based meats. And that's why.
Does that mean Clara's the Beyond companion and
Yeah.
is going on adventures together?
Yeah.
The Adventures of Pea Protein.
And lentils. But it's a moment that starts it not even a moment. It's something that I think sticks with the Doctor from that second all the way until the end, when he is effectively demanding that Clara goes with him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he recognizes or sees that Clara doesn't have somebody. She doesn't have her soulmate companion.
Yeah, now that the gift of the Magi is out.
Yeah, now that they both realize that they lied to each other to spare the other's feelings.
Yeah. Yeah, I like...
I think in that moment he really understands the like, oh, I am her person,
Yeah.
whether I want to be or not.
Yeah, and there's a sadness to the way Capaldi says, like, I wish I'd come back earlier. Which obviously there's sadness to the line, but there's like a particular weight to the way he delivers it. That really feels like it comes with real regret.
I mean, it's especially when you consider, like, yes, he's the Doctor. Yes, he is not immortal, but, you know, in this form, he looks very old, but he is still rather springy, for lack of a better term, young man. I think seeing Clara as a decrepit old woman, even if he's like, oh, yeah, I don't see you any other way. It's like, no, he's choosing not to see her any other way.
Especially that moment where they have the Christmas cracker and she has to use both hands and still can't quite tug it. And so the Doctor has to wrap his hand around both of hers to help her.
Yeah.
Like, I joked a little bit earlier last season that the Doctor and Clara sort of become like an old married couple. They really like play into the physicality of that when Clara looks age appropriate for that.
Yeah.
Sure, she's supposed to be like 80 something, I think, but
When Clara's arthritic and so old, but yet still has the voice of a silver bell. Just ignore that part.
Well, you know, she took care of her voice. She
Yeah, apparently
drinks all her water.
Drinks lots of water and does 45 minutes of warm-ups in her car.
And she also wears a full face of makeup in bed, as we learned.
Even as an old woman.
At all times. She's never without.
Did you know that that's fully something that Dolly Parton does?
Really?
Just in case something happens and she has to evacuate her home. She doesn't want to look bad.
It's very funny.
That was something that she had said in an interview years ago. So I don't know if it still is true or if at this point she just does it so that way if she dies, nobody has to deal with her looking like a person.
She knows that she wants her face done. She doesn't have to have somebody.
Yeah. We could do a whole podcast about Dolly Parton.
Who is my Dolly?
Oh my God. My favorite era, Dolly Parton, Steel Magnolias. I will talk to anybody about Steel Magnolias all day.
But yes, as you could probably guess, the original way that they were going to write out Clara was that she had gotten very
Old lady.
old. She was old lady.
I figured that was going to be their exit route.
Yeah, to my understanding, and I could be wrong, it was mid-production when Jenna had said, "Hey, I've decided to stay on another season," and Steven went, "Okay, great. We're going to hastily rewrite the ending of this episode so you don't have to wear the makeup of an 80-year-old woman the entire time." And so what we're going to say here is there's just been like, I think 6 dreams within a dreams. Because there was the deepest dream, of course, was Danny Clara.
Yeah.
And then there was
Deepest Dream. Also, like, so sad. so sad because I can only imagine what it would be like to be mourning the person that you truly love so much in this whole world, and knowing that, like, oh, these moments, this is extra time, even if it's fake.
Mm-hmm.
This is my time to be with my person on Christmas of all days.
Here's the thing, because it's a shared dream, you have to wonder how much of this is Clara and how much of this is the Doctor, like, working through Danny. But there's a way that they characterize Danny here that really makes him work in a way that I think he did almost more than the entire season he was in.
I truly think it's a combination of, like, Clara idealizing him in some facets, but then the second that the Doctor comes in and is like, this is a dream, you know, it's a dream, Danny is then speaking on behalf of Clara's, like, real self. Yeah,
in the same way that, like, I mean, it's interesting that he's dressed up as Santa, because, you know, they tell you the point is that the Santa throughout the dreams is their minds trying to save them.
Mm-hmm.
And so Danny, dressed as Santa, starts saying, he starts off with, I wasn't trying to save the world. I was trying to save Clara. The rest of you got lucky.
That's Clara. That's Clara literally making herself feel so much better about everything that happened.
You know, that's one trait that they really carried through with Clara, that they keep finding ways to make charming as opposed to, like, unbearable.
Is that she's kind of a narcissist?
Yes. Like, even down to, like,
she's endearingly conceited.
Yes. Like, she's not like a bad person.
No.
But there's definitely parts of her where she definitely holds herself in a very high esteem. And you could see it at the end of that, like, even Jenna, the actress, has internalized that in moments where, like, at the end of the episode, the Doctor hands her a mirror and she's like, oh, that's good. That's good.
I mean, I also just think that's how Moffat likes to write women.
There is a trait for that. Yeah. I mean, I will say the next companion he gives Capaldi is also a woman, and I don't think she does that as much as Clara does. I do think it is a Clara trait.
As a woman with waning confidence every so often, there are times where I'll be doing workouts, look at myself in the mirror and go, God, how does anybody get anything done more than me? So much so that then I texted some of our friends asking them the same question. And then the response was, oh, we don't.
And the reason
just feeding the beast.
And the reason is twofold. One, because you are so cute and charming and lovely to look at and be around. And reason number two is because you are a yapper.
Because I don't know how to shut up.
Which is why I started this podcast, because it means I just look at you for an hour and we yap. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's a little hint of that, because I do think that's definitely a through line between Clara and River.
Yeah.
River is absolutely that. Amy, a little less so. I mean, there's definitely a part of it where she also finds herself pretty.
I think it's because Amy has tall people syndrome, which is the unabashed confidence of knowing I'm hot and I don't need to remind other people that I am. Whereas Clara is...
Amy almost seemed annoyed by being attractive.
Yeah. Amy wanted to be small.
Yeah. Clara checks out herself at every opportunity.
River is somewhere in the middle because she's average height, right?
Yeah. River enjoys her sexual confidence in the, like, teasing of the Doctor. Yeah. So there's definitely a through line with his women, which, you know, there are worse ways to write them.
Yep.
He should probably get a more diverse way to write them.
I mean, we've had this discussion before. We'll have it again.
Yes.
I would much rather have a woman be confident and into herself than
ditzy or
a dullard.
Yeah.
That's like today I was watching one of my favorite movies of all time, Josie and the Pussycats. And it's astonishing to me that movie was released in 2002 or 4, and
some even number.
Yeah, well, early 2000s. We'll leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Movie could very easily come out today, and it would still make the same amount of sense, if not more so, just because it's the underlying commentary is about consumerism and all that. We don't need to go into it. But one of the one of the characters is just a very stereotypical of that time, like ditzy blonde.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was watching it, I was like, I still love this. I love this movie. I love these characters. She would not.
I think she only
She would
works.
not work in, like, if this movie was made today, she would not be.
I have not seen it. Obviously, I shouldn't say obviously.
Absolutely
We
should.
talked about.
Elizabeth
I've not
Banks
seen
is in it.
But I was
And Alan Cumming.
say I imagine the ditzy blonde only works in contrast to the other pussycats.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
they're both absolutely with it and the smartest people.
Yeah,
in
like
the
you
whole
can't
world.
have three dum-dums and
No.
they're all women. But I like, you know, I feel like you could have one as long as the other two aren't.
Well, because then they play it off as them being like, I love how positive you see, like how much wonder you see in the world and how the world is magical. And like, I love that about you. It's like, that's one way of putting it.
I love that you're like a glass half full kind of girl and a brain half empty.
Yeah. So it would be astonishing if Moffat wrote women like that.
Yeah, no, I mean he had
Which there is a part
Shona
of
this
me-
episode was kind of like that.
There is a part of me that would love to see a companion for the Doctor who is just like, can we still say this term, idiot savant?
I mean, I feel like Rose was a little that.
Rose was tough though. She had street
Yeah,
smarts.
she had street smarts. That's
because
for sure.
like they do make a comment in this about Clara just goes, I grew out of fairy tales, and then cues the TARDIS whoosh, which also, yeah, she did grow out of fairy tales because Matt Smith turned into an old man. Peter Pan turned into Smee.
Turned into Peter Man.
Yeah. Yes.
Peter Pan turned into Peter Capaldi.
Yes. Which I thought was funny, but I do really love the idea, and perhaps it's one that works better in like TTRPGs of if you had a character like the Doctor and then you had somebody who's just like accidentally really good at things only because they rolled really well.
Yeah.
But otherwise their outlook on life is very much sunshine and rainbows.
I mean, the Doctor's had some ditzy companions in the classic series. It might be worth us visiting one of those soon. Speaking of the very top of the episode, we had an issue with this episode right off the bat, though. With the bed Clara was sleeping in was not her silk
What
sheet.
happened to her pretty princess bed?
Was not her silk sheet velvet headboard.
I made excuses for this fucking bed. Up, down, left, right. My standing theory is that is Danny's. Like, she's just staying in Danny's house.
Yeah, for me, it may not even be that. It could just be it's all a dream. It's her dream bed.
But why would your dream
Why
bed
would your dream bed
worse?
be worse than your actual?
Why would your dream bed be worse than your
Pretty princess
actual
bed.
pretty princess bed? Not bread. Although, pretty princess bread.
Cassie, I have a restaurant idea.
Zach, have you ever heard of fairy bread?
What if we did that, but with jewels?
And they're edible.
Yeah, I mean, this episode came out about a month and a half after.
Christmas.
No, after
Okay.
because the end of last season came out November 8th, I believe. And this was obviously Christmas Day. So it's been about a month and a half while the show was off. So I guess in that month and a half, Clara could have moved. And, you know, it would make a little bit of sense that she's gone through like some trauma. And so she needs a big life change. So if I'm going to hand wave that away.
Oh, but her pretty princess bed.
She sold it to pay for the move and had to
They
get this.
borrowed it from another show and they were like, oh, hey, we need that back. The other show went,
Sorry, we burned it in the episode.
yeah, we're so sorry. The actors, everyone peed on it. We had to give it a Viking funeral.
Had to ship it out to sea.
The bay smelled awful.
I really like Nick Frost's interpretation of Santa this episode.
It was reminding me a little bit of David Harbour's interpretation of Santa.
Like if that version had gone to therapy.
If that version wasn't, I think David Harbour's so handsome. And so it was, what if David Harbour Santa just not hot?
Just not as jacked. I'm still remembering when we watched that movie and he's swinging his hammer around and you're like, is Santa Thor? And I'm like, oh yeah, he's covered in bruises. He's super Thor.
What a really violent night. One of my favorite Christmas movies. There's a moment where Santa takes off his shirt.
Yeah, I mean, there's a very like almost they find
But
a way
it's a
to
sarcastic, like, I mean, it's also British humor where he's just, yeah, no shit, I'm Santa.
there's a fey quality to him in a way where it just feels like, I'm
He's stinky.
Yeah, exactly. He's that stinky boy behavior where he's, telling them the truth, but it's in a very like well, why couldn't you figure that out, you dummies?
Yeah, there's billions of kids on this earth. You think I'm going to get to millions of kids a night? No, I have a second sled. Duh. What are you? There is a teenage girl quality about this Santa.
Yeah.
There is a most popular girls in school quality.
Very, very snooty, especially
about
when
Nick Frost Santa.
Especially with the doctor's like, we're not asking the right questions. How do you fit all the presents on the sleigh? And then Santa's like, it's bigger on the inside. And Capaldi has such a great fuck face about him when he says that. I really like a lot of this episode. Of the Christmas specials, I think this might be my third favorite. Mm-hmm. My second favorite behind A Christmas Carol is the next one we're going to get to.
I did like when he's trying to convince everybody that he's real. Mm-hmm. And but telling one of them like, oh yeah, I got you a microscope. It's a good thing I got a real one, huh? Your parents wanted a toy, but I know when to go put all my cards in.
Sometimes I like to take a risk.
Yeah. And then the other one, he's like, 3 words. And then I went, uh-oh.
Don't cremate me.
Uh-oh, it's a favorite game. What other 3 words? We don't have to do the whole bit again. The answer was My Little Pony.
Yeah.
But I did laugh. I did laugh at the prospects of Polly Pocket having a middle initial. It was Polly M. Pocket. If you would like to submit your pitch for
Polly has Pocket.
Yeah. For real friends.
Care Williamson Bear. Jeffrey Isaac Joe.
Cabbage Kids. I mean,
You mean Cabbage Patch Kids?
Cabbage Patch Kids. Fuck. It's already 3.
It was already there.
Barbie Mattel toy.
Fucked up Slinky.
Super hot.
Can we talk about that
Wheels.
where Santa's introduction in the episode is a parade of toys coming in to save the day?
Yeah, what was up with that? I was so salty for a hot second because he's preceded by little slinkies that are doing their slinky dance.
Yeah, Slinkies,
and then a
like,
bunch of robots,
Yeah.
like toy robots that are walking in.
Uh-huh.
There was not a single robot toy that wasn't that.
that was like younger than 20 years old.
Well, because my thought was like, oh, this would be a really cheeky way for them to put in like, because they do have a Dalek toy. It's like that would be really funny.
See, that's the thing though, is that I feel like having a Dalek toy in the Doctor Who universe is sort of like having a Hitler figurine. The new Adolf Hitler action figure. Just something about it feels wrong in universe.
I mean, not the exact same, but I have a Harry Houdini action figure. They're making those of everybody, dog.
Yeah, the only person Harry Houdini killed was himself.
And it wasn't even, he didn't do it. He didn't commit suicide. He challenged teams to punch him in the gut, and they punched him too early, and then his appendix ruptured. This is a real thing. Do you know how fucking scared I was when my dad told me that story while I was in the hospital with a rupturing appendix?
You're like, this is my last Christmas. Every Christmas is your last Christmas.
It was June, Zach. That would have been impossible.
Turns out you're still laying in the hospital though with that ruptured appendix. You just got a dream crown on your face.
Fucking yeah, because that means I would have been I would just go back in time. I'm in the 6th grade. Everything is fine. Did I tell you?
You could warn the world.
Did I tell you the crazy dream I had the other night? I did. You didn't have a reaction, so maybe this time you will because you're being recorded.
All right, go for it.
I had such a clear dream of going under anesthesia. Because fun fact about me as a kid, I had like 8 surgeries where I had to go under anesthesia. So that's a very like that is such a potent like memory. I know exactly like what the smell is, what taste of the anesthesia, like just everything, how the room looks, how the lights look, counting backwards from 100. Specific memory of my mom having them wheel me out to go to the OR and her saying, "Cassie, remember the date, remember today's date." And then me waking up from surgery and then her coming up and saying, "Hey, what's today's date?" And I went, "It's April 24th." And she went, "Oh no." "Oh, I'm so sorry, honey. It's October." And I went, "What?" And she went, "No, it's April. You're fine."
But April 30th. What?
Yeah. But having that like very clear sense memory, I had a dream of that exact thing, of me like being all like, prepped and ready for surgery and having them count down. And then the second that I like fell asleep or like the anesthesia hit is the second I woke up, and I went, "What?"
It was Cassie in the Upside Down.
Yeah. And then I told you about it. You were like, "That's kind of weird." I went, "That's really weird. Time travel in dreams," which apparently is a real thing in this show.
Apparently it is, because you could be in any time zone. They're not. They're all from the same like island nation. They're all from the UK.
Yeah, I was really hoping that they were going to wake up and have it be like one of that, like Shona was in medieval Europe or something.
Well, they were different. I think it was supposed to be it's all the
They're
same
in different
time.
They're in different tax brackets,
Yeah.
clearly.
But I meant more like they're in different. I thought they were going to be like in different parts of the world. Like not like obviously the Doctor was on a different planet.
Well, yeah.
But I kind of wondered if one of them was going to wake up in America or Australia, or one of them wakes up and they just have they look different. Like they were they had a dream body and it's not theirs.
Well, because it was specifically that she could walk in that dream.
Yeah, that was probably the closest you're going to get, which to a certain extent makes sense that you don't want to totally throw the audience at the very last minute. Like, oh, who the heck is that? Especially for children that watch the show. But there was a part of it that was just like, it would have been fun if there was like one that was really different. Well,
one of them that when they wake up, they're just a dog. You cut a couple of seconds before the dog wakes up and he's running.
Dog looks in the mirror.
Yeah.
And then starts barking at the mirror.
Just starts pawing at the mirror. Aww.
And then we look up and realize the owner was the man the whole time.
See, that they wouldn't do that on Doctor Who ever. That is an episode of Rick and Morty for sure.
This episode is very I think that it does take the dream stuff a bit far, I think. Well,
because they did a very good job at giving you they gave me a very visceral I had a very visceral reaction to the Doctor describing what the dream crab is doing by describing, that soft spot in your skull. Imagine a straw piercing through flesh and bone and sucking out your brain. Ah!
Yeah, I heard you feel it next to me.
Ah! I hated that.
Make sure you remember when we first met Martha? When the Doctor and Martha met on the Rhino Hospital on the moon. God, this show is a weird thing to describe out loud. The Rhino Cop Hospital on the moon, and there's just the alien woman who drinks people with a straw.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, they really like the straw metaphor of people just drinking you up.
Because it's horrifying. It works on think about mosquitoes do that, and people hate mosquitoes.
Yeah, I also think the dream crabs are very well designed. Like visually?
Well, because they did a very good thing about saying out loud, "Oh yeah, like face huggers," and I went, "Exactly." They knew. Yeah, they said it in the thing.
But they're also like a fun shade of blue. They're like a blue raspberry kind of.
Yeah, they look very edible.
Yeah, they're not. They're not like dingy brown or gray. That like this blue really helps them pop, and then they start coming down from the ceiling like wall masters.
Fuck those guys. Face hugging wall masters. Ugh. And they're so wet
They're very wet.
and like slurpy.
And then when for some reason when they're on your face, if they want to be threatening, they open up their like center.
Back?
Yeah, and I'm like, there's nothing in there. It's all gums. There's no teeth. Is it just meant to be scary?
I think it's just so that way you can see. It's like a window.
This is what will happen to you.
Yeah, basically.
Think about me.
Perceive me. Think of me.
The dream crabs are just going, think of me fondly while I suck your brains.
I do like them having the rhetoric of like, don't think of them. Don't think of them. Whatever you do, don't. The second you tell me not to think of something, I'm thinking about it.
I do like that Shona had the way of getting around it by dancing and singing.
Yeah. Well, that's a perfect idea.
And then the doctor also had another one that was just like, I'm going to make you do math.
Yep.
But Clara was too good at
I'm
math.
gonna make you do arithmetic. Oh, that's right. You're a teacher.
You're a teacher who dated a math teacher whose like one true love was a math teacher. Like, of course you're going to be good at this.
Oh, God, that would make me. I would just get angry.
I did like that she
You tell
eventually.
me to do mental math, I shoot you in the face.
Well, you're not thinking about them dream crabs anymore, are you?
I'm thinking about killing you.
But yeah, it is funny how often Moffat creates a creature that is just like, don't do X thing.
Don't blink. Whatever you do, don't blink.
Yeah,
don't think.
Yeah, don't blink.
Don't blink. Don't think.
Don't look at the silence. Don't look away from the silence. Rather, don't think about the dream crabs. It's just like you can't do anything.
Moffat does not want you to have any autonomy.
Don't blink. Don't breathe. Don't listen.
Yeah, don't blink. Don't breathe. Don't think.
Just be dead. Die already. Yeah. Doctor Who. Just die already.
Just be calm and die. Just go back to sleep because this is all a dream.
Yeah, I
the people that have the face huggers on their body reaching out through the TV screen, I hate that. Do not like. Unsubscribe. Favorite part of the whole episode, the orange on the windowsill.
Because it made you want an orange.
Yeah, I have so many right now. I'm wealthy in oranges.
I'm going to say I did not guess orange on the windowsill is Cassie's favorite moment.
What did you think was going to be our favorite?
I thought it was going to be the
moment?
dancing scene, to be honest with you.
No.
I thought it was silly enough. I was having a difficult time picking, though.
Nah, because even still, there isn't any one thing that I went, oh, I love that, because I was angry the entire time that Clara's bed was different.
I just imagine you just spent 35 minutes of the episode mad about Clara's bed, and you're like, oh, wait, hang on, I tuned out. What happened?
Yeah. No, favorite moment truly was the first time they lit Capaldi so beautifully. I went, oh, I want to pause that.
I want to paint it.
I want to paint it.
I'm gonna paint this skeleton man.
And then they did it again with the teal and orange lighting, and I went, oh, beautiful. Oh, another thing. Because the doctor does describe more dangerous animals that you eat. Which animals do you think he's talking about? I think the doctor's secretly afraid of chickens.
I mean, he was
Or
complaining about,
goats.
he was talking about that guy's turkey leg.
I don't think the doctor likes poultry. I have no other evidence to support this claim.
You know, he likes bananas. Bananas are good. But we
He
don't.
also did not appreciate the Alien movie being a scary movie.
That might be my favorite moment. And it was like, you got a horror movie called Alien. That's really offensive. No wonder you keep getting invaded. I love that. That might be my favorite moment of the whole episode. Speaking of moments, though, you do get 2 points for being correct.
Yeah, because Clara did believe in Santa. She always has believed in Santa Claus.
Yeah, she just thinks he looks a little different, and then she hugs the doctor.
Do, 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 do. Turns out this becomes a Home Alone episode.
God, that would be a fun Doctor Who episode, making him set up a bunch of
Oh my
little
God.
traps.
If it was Doctor Who, like, actively interfering Kevin McAllister in Home Alone.
Like, because Kevin's actually 10, he's not making any traps that work, so the doctor's like right behind him, making sure they do.
No, the doctor is the one that's helping him set up all of that. Like, Kevin has the ideas and the doctor's like, all right, we'll make it work.
Who Malone? Who Malone sounds like Doctor Who doing a Post Malone cover band.
Who Malone does just kind of sound like a nerd that is trying to start Post Malone cover band.
I think we're gonna look forward to this next season. I think the next season is probably. I think that's Capaldi's strongest, in my opinion.
I mean,
it's definitely got some stuff in it that's a little silly, as all seasons do.
I did clock in this episode he's starting to deviate from the magician wardrobe.
Yeah, we featured Capaldi's first hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's cold out, you understand. So he's gotta wear a hoodie.
Of course.
They still kept calling him dressed like they still kept saying he was dressed like a magician.
Yes,
though.
but this one it was more of like a David Blaine.
Like he's got to get in a box and not eat for a week, and that's his magic trick.
This is him doing like a street magician, where he just goes up to people and goes, "Look, pick a card," and then because you're on camera and it's the early 2000s, you're gonna do whatever the camera tells you to do.
Here, pick a card. Now I want you to picture that card in your mind while I walk away. I'm going to see you in 3 years, and I'll tell you what that card was.
Yeah. Do you know how easily that stuff would have worked on me?
Your mind would have been so freaked.
My mind was freaked. I remember it's a core memory of mine. I spent one Sunday because I'd finished my homework early. I camped up on a dog pillow, sandwiched between our dining room table and then the wall, like looking out into the backyard, with my little portable DVD player, and watched every single season of Mind Freak that we had. In one whole day, I just had a full-on marathon. It was awesome. Think about that day a lot. Because I love magicians, Zach. I love magic.
That's why you like Capaldi so much. He dresses like one. In all iterations, he always it's either a stage magician or a street magician at all times. Get him a backwards cap and a goatee.
Or a top hat and a bunny.
And you love him either way.
Yep.
Yeah, we're coming up on probably my favorite of Capaldi's seasons, including my I think my second favorite episode of Doctor Who is this coming season.
Okay.
And it held the length of time as my favorite, because my favorite only just happened this past first season of Ncuti.
Woo.
So we're big deal, I think, for sure. So I'm looking forward to it, but we're not going to get to it right away because next week we're going to take a little break between seasons and watch a classic episode that we haven't done in a minute.
Yahoo!
But you're going to find out which one on the next episode of Who Is My Doctor?
Who is my doctor?
Who is indeed.
See, I was really trying to do the lead up because the next episode is The Magician's Apprentice.
But you didn't know we're not doing that. You just got booed.
I got booed? Oh, man.
That's why I laugh like that. I laugh like the boos in Mario.
We have fun here.
Merry Crabmas, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this little off holiday special. I know Cassie and I certainly had a fun time recording this one. Special thanks, as always, go to our Big Daddy Dalek patrons, Andrew Blewett, David Gansel, Travis Aiken, and Daniel Lindgren. And I recently sat down and mapped out the rest of the year for us. We've got lots of fun stuff planned, so alongside the regular show, we're going to be doing Spin-Off Summer, where we take a little dive into all of the Doctor Who spin-offs, and we're going to check out both Sherlock and In the Loop, because they feel important enough to this season for us to do. And of course, we're going to be doing some classic episodes throughout the year, just to mix things up. Like next week, when we're going to watch... hang on, I just had my schedule here. I can't remember what we're doing next week without it. Where did it go?
Happy April Fools, bitch.